All right, Coach Iggy here. What I'm going to do today is do my full body workout. I just want to take the first segment of it, which is my back squat and my warm up to the back squat, and sort of go through how I warm up for a back squat and my teaching points and techniques for a good one. Now, I'm by no means the best back squat in the world. You know, back squat's one thing I really need to work on for my vertical strength. And just as a really tall person with long levers, I suck at squatting. At least that's what I tell myself. And I've only started really squatting about 3 years ago. So let's warm up. Let's get into the back squat. All right. So the first things first, I want to get my knees warm, ankles warm, calves, okay? Back squat's going to use like 300 out of 600 of the muscles in your body, or at least that's how I've been taught. So a lot of muscles. It's a core functional movement. Buzzwords there, functional, core, you hear them overused all the time. But the muscles you're using in the back squat are so functional to so many things you do: running, sprinting, jumping, sport, and overall knee, ankle, hip mobility, and of course, muscle, all right? Everyone wants big legs, strong calves. So when it comes to squatting, I'm gonna warm up with a split squat actually. So I like to warm up in little split squat quarter pulses. And what this is gonna do is bring nice blood flow into the kneecap, really warm up the inside of my quads and open up my hips. You can do this holding on, or you can just do it standard, assisted. I'm gonna go for about 18 to 20 pulses. Yet again, I don't really care about the exact number, just trying to get warm. Good thing to note is that a warm-up doesn't have to have like 15 to 20 minutes of mobility drills in it, for me personally. I think warm-up should be quite quick and concise, so you've got limited time to get your workout done and get the rest of your day done, whatever that is. So just get your heart racing, get the blood flowing, get your ankles, knee and hips warm, and then warm up into the actual movement itself, which is the back squat today. So whenever I'm doing a back squat, safety hooks in, okay? It's gonna make sure it's level for my body. So you can see, I can nicely unrack that. Next thing, spotters arms, okay? When I go to perform my back squat, if I ever tap out and I've got no strength, I can come down and I'm saved. Little fall there, but nothing bad's gonna happen, okay? Spotters arms are really important. You know, put your ego aside, watch your safety, okay? Very important. You don't want to be crushed by a barbell like all those people on Instagram. Cool. So I'm just gonna warm up with some nice back squats. We're gonna set our shoulders back. It's probably gonna work a lot better if I do this the other way. When I approach a barbell, I wanna grab just outside my shoulders and push my shoulder blades down. I want to have quite a high bar. So a high bar is just above the shoulders, but not on my spine. A low bar is here. Some people squat with a low bar and they hinge a lot, okay? That's absolutely fine. What that's going to do is work more of your glutes and your lower back and put you more into a hip hinge. What I like to do is use a high bar and use more of my quads and drive my knees over the toes for a bit more mobility and depth, because I really struggle with depth in my squat. So, just gonna warm up with the bar, all the way down, all the way up. Now I've got my feet hip width apart, chest out, and I'm thinking to really push through my heel, big toe, and little toe. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. Cool. Bar's pretty simple. So for me, I'm aiming around 80 kilos today. So I'm just gonna slowly build up to that 80. And so for few small increments. All right. I may as well do it this way around so you guys can actually see my squat form. So, shoulders are out, just outside, take a step down, big breath in, unlock the knees. I'm balancing on my big toe, little toe, heel. Chest out, drive the knees over the toes. Own the bottom, straight back up. We're still warming up, getting those legs warm. Just reminding yourself about technique. Cool. I would normally do it the other way and rack it here, but for the purpose of this video, I'm facing you guys, it doesn't really matter. Cool, let's make it heavier. All right, let's go up to the big 50. Hopefully, the drum and bass that's playing right now isn't muffling the audio for you guys. Cool. Another point to make, not really taking rest breaks between my warm-up sets. Just going straight in, okay? So they are a warm-up. So you're just building to what we call your first working set. Feet hip width apart, break at the knee and hip, big breath in, and sit into it, drive those knees out, push. Yet again, there's no magic numbers, requirements for reps in the warm-up set. I'm just doing what feels good and just trying not to tire myself out too much. Which is actually easier said than done when you're talking and exercising. Cool. Let's go. 70. This is where the simple maths gets you. Count what's on the bar, guys. 50. 25, 25, 50. Nope, murdered that. Yeah, mental maths failing me. 30 plus 20, 50, 70, okay? Too many coffees. All right. That felt quite good. So I'm just doing singles now as I get quite close to the weight I want to work to. Trying not to tire myself out too much. If you're looking very closely then, you see I missed a clip from the edge. Got the spotter's arms. Use the safety clips, it's always advised they're safety clips, that's why they're there. But I've got people and friends that do CrossFit and they don't put the safety clips on, so it's whatever you're comfortable with and you know you've got safety or a way out, spotter's arms, okay? Cool. All right, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80. First working set. We're just gonna go for 3. I'm doing triples, okay? Just trying to work on maximum strength, good form, and getting a handle of heavy weight on my back. Just give myself 30 seconds, then we're gonna hit it. All right. This is the 4th week of my program. I did 80 last week. I'll try and add a kilo or just leave it if the form needs working on. As I say, this is something I struggle with. Oh, before I start, you might have noticed, I'm in barefoot shoes. Now, whatever you're squatting, doesn't really matter as long as it's safe, comfortable, and you can get your heel on the floor. This is gonna offer less support for your knee drive. If you're very flexible, you might be able to use barefoot shoes. I normally warm up or sometimes use these, but traditionally, I use weightlifting shoes, okay? So I'm gonna get them out. You can even use a slant board or wedges. I've kind of gone through using all of them. There is no right or wrong thing to use, just whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever the goal and aim of your back squat is at the moment. So through last 3 years of training legs properly, I'd say my ankle flexion and hips have got a lot better. So I don't use the slant board anymore. I found myself tiptoeing on it a little bit. So rather, I bought myself some Olympic lifters, stay on my heels a bit more. These basically emulate a wedge. Makes me feel a little bit more grounded than relying on a stand. All right, enough talking, set one. Cool. There we go. Feet hip width apart. I'm gonna slightly turn my feet out because I've got long legs, so it's gonna allow me to sink back into the squat. Big breath in, break at the hips, control it down, bang, drive. Brace my abs, drive. 3. Not too bad. Surprised myself there. Cool, and now I'm gonna rest for about 2 minutes, which seems like a long time, but for me, that's kind of heavy. It's just gonna give me enough time for my ATP to replenish. So if you take creatine, that's your ATP replenishing. It helps you deal with fast, strong, heavy weights. If you try to go back to back on this every 30 seconds, it's gonna turn into a hypertrophy workout, okay? And that is not a workout I can do with that weight on the squat. So for me, long 2-minute rest, take my time, breathe, reset, go again. I'm gonna do 3 to 5 sets of this. Good thing to know, whatever you do first in your workout, you're gonna get better at, which seems like common sense, but some people don't think about it. You're fresh, you got a lot of energy. Whatever you wanna improve in most, do it first, you'll get better results. So for me, I find this neurologically and physically tough, I get it out of the way. Really good point to mention. And when we were talking about the feet and hips earlier, some people can get away with squatting very square, just like that. For me, I've got to turn my feet out. Maybe better if I'm in the cage for you. Feet like that, allow my hips to go out, knees over toes, and you're down here. If I have my legs quite close and feet forward, I get that little butt wink where you see my lower back round. I'm sort of sitting back into it. So squatting is very subjective, person to person. Some tall people might need to be wide, feet turned out. Some tall people might not need to because they're quite flexible. You need to really think about what squat feels best for you. And if you are chasing depth, not everyone wants to chase depth. Some people just want to squat to a box. That's fine, the world's not going to end. But for me personally and how I teach, full depth squats are going to help reduce injury, get you faster and stronger, make you more flexible, and give you the best possible form. Then if you want to do box squats or half range of motion squats, you've already got that base and foundation to go all the way down, own it, all the way back up. For me personally, that helped me really get past my knee pain. Probably enough talking, back in. Set 2. All right. High bar, feet hip width apart. Big breath in. Bit harder that time. Slightly tipping forward on the last one, but that's fine. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. I'm gonna turn that heater off because I'm absolutely cooking. All right. Perks of being in a private studio, double doors, fresh air. So right now I'm feeling warm. The warm-up set's definitely helped. Quads are feeling it. I can feel the blood rushing here. Knees are warm. I'm feeling good. And I'm really trying to keep that chest up when I'm squatting. What you don't want to do when you squat is see your back folding, okay? Most people forget that the back squat is actually working your lower back muscles. So your erector spinatus, these muscles here, you need to respect that when you back squat. If you're struggling to get out of the squat halfway up, or you're feeling yourself cheat and hip hinge, you're using and overcompensating with your back. So, or maybe your glutes. When it comes down to it, you just need to make sure you're keeping your chest up, you're squatting down as comfortably as possible, and you're respecting that it is training your back, because that might be a weak link in your squat. It's definitely a weak link in mine. I've realized as this gets heavier, I go down, and then sometimes I come up and I cheat, and I use my back a bit because my quads aren't as strong, or I come down, use my quads, and I get stuck because my back's not strong enough to finish the movement halfway through. So this is why you've got to work everything. Quads, lower back, glutes, in conjunction with each other through compound movements, but then also in isolation sometimes where you need to bring up the little weak points that you may have. All right, set 3, let's get it. Feels like 2 minutes. We're gonna find out if I can't get it up. 2 steps out is normally a good policy, so you're not shuffling too much. That felt strong. Another thing, intent. When I'm doing that and I'm like, damn, there's 80 kilos on my back and I weigh 78, so it's quite a lot, it's over 100% body weight. I need intent to get the bar up. So when I'm down here, I'm controlling it, I'm thinking quick, up. You need to think explosive when you're dealing with heavy weights. If you're not switched on in here, getting that bar up is gonna be 10 times harder. Focus, use your rest breaks. Try not use your phone. Very guilty of that when I'm not doing this. Rest breaks on the phone, you know? Stay locked in and really focus on the form and the concentric that's coming up, okay? This is the eccentric coming down, bang, concentric coming up. Be explosive, have the intent. Heart's chugging now. Squats will always make your heart rate go up. Ooh, squats and deadlifts, all the time. May feel like you need a breather. Core bracing is something I'd always recommend as well. Whenever you've got the bar on your back, big breath in. I brace my abs, so I push them out. Imagine if someone was gonna punch you in the stomach and you wanted to resist that. Tense your abs, push your core in and out, and then squat. And that will help center all of this here. So when you've got the bar on your back, you're not loose and moving around. Some people will use Olympic weightlifting belts or just weightlifting belts, so they can brace their core against the belt. The belt's not doing anything fancy, it's just there to remind you, push against it. If you're doing 1RM tests or you're trying to lift really, really heavy, this might help you. Yet again, it's just a tool, so you don't have to use it. I've used it a few times when I try a 1RM, but I like to try and not use it and just focus on consciously bracing and training that part of my core and abdominals to be in sync with the movement. All right, I think that's time for set 4. Bar on the back, feet hip width apart, knees out, hips forward. Cool, 2 steps out. Big breath in. 3 again. Nice. And I think I'm going to leave it here for today. Some days you're going to feel a little bit tired, some days you're going to feel amazing. I give myself a window of like 3 to 5 sets, depending on how I feel on the day. I'll decide where to stop and start, make a note of it, and next week either beat it or match it. And that was my back squat little tutorial or view into how I back squat, and a few principles that I hope you can take away, might help you in your back squat, or think a little bit more about technique and the nuances of squatting and how subjective it can be from person to person. If you like the video, hit subscribe, give me a like, and leave a comment down below if you think there's anything I've missed or anything that helps you with back squatting, squatting in general, that you think I might have missed. Because I don't know it all, I just know a little bit every now and then, and I'm trying to learn more. You know, I believe you should be a student for life. No one knows it all. So on that note, thanks for watching. See you next time.